Welcome to the Brand Lincoln Podcast, the show where we dig into the stories behind Lincoln's most inspiring business owners and influential people. It's where big ideas and even bigger personalities collide. Proudly sponsored by Perch Merch, your one-stop shop for screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products that make your brand unforgettable. Call us at 402-217-5212 or visit us at perch-merch.com to give your business the glow up it deserves. And don't just listen, be a true multitasker. Like, follow, and subscribe on whatever platform you're tuning in on. And check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Brand Lincoln Podcast. We're basically everywhere you waste your time. Let's get inspired, Lincoln. The stories start now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln. I am your host, Chris Beecham, joined by my co-host, Henry Schmidt.
Hi, Chris.
And former producer, Joe Cruz.
Top of the morning to you, Chris.
Okay. So today in the Perch Merch studio, we are joined by Tony Lucero.
Yes.
Of Lucero Activation.
Yes.
That's kind of a badass name.
It kind of is, and you did really well on that.
Thank you.
You didn't butcher
really
it.
hyped him up.
I was
there.
practicing for the last 30 seconds.
You did not butcher it.
So tell us, what is Lucero Activation?
Lucero Activation, well, that's me. Oh. And I've been kind of known as somebody that activates things. So activates people, activates business, activates energy, creates positivity wherever I go. So I'm an activator.
You certainly activated this room when
I
you came
did.
in.
Yeah.
I did.
We were having a lot of fun before we even started recording. So
You guys were doing taxes and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
all
And
that
I just
stupid stuff.
stop that right now.
Threw it in the
Here,
trash.
let me activate you.
I still don't know what it is.
Okay, here we go, Chris. So if I was to come to you, and let's say I'm a genie,
Okay.
and I might be
That'd
a
awesome.
genie,
Okay.
and I said, Chris, if you could activate or improve one part of your life right now, there might be a couple, or a handful, or in your case, multi-dozens.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's one thing that you could activate, make better, improve, what would that be?
Oh, win the lottery.
Win the lottery. I don't do that.
Okay.
What's the second?
Second best thing.
Second best way.
Less chaos.
Less chaos. So I would come in, and I have this ability to find the chaos really quick and help you put in processes and strategies and things like that to get rid of it. So I would help you clean house, basically.
In my head.
In your head, and probably if I look around here, maybe around here there might be some chaos.
Yeah, no, yeah. We
So-
can talk later.
Exactly. So that's what I do.
Do you want me to leave?
So that's what I do. I have this ability to, through all the years in the space of personal growth and personal development and working with businesses and doing consulting, have the ability to walk into a business and shift things. So get people in a nice, juicy state and help them implement things to keep them in that space.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Do I need to go like sixth grade or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's seventh.
seventh grade?
That's where I
A
peaked,
little
I think.
more development.
Okay. Okay. So let's say in your business, there's chaos.
But I come to you or as an individual or as a business?
Sometimes it's both.
How did I hear about you?
So, usually through word of mouth or some type of something that you would have saw maybe on social
Maybe
media.
a podcast.
A podcast, social media. Friends came up to you and said, Chris, dude, you are out of it. You need to talk to my buddy Tony.
Okay.
He's an activator. He can dial you in right now.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Got it.
So I have a background in hypnotherapy. I have a background in frequencies, sound frequencies, healing modalities. I do breath work. I don't know. I have a lot of things I've learned in my young 59 years of being on this planet.
I got it. Okay, then how did this happen? How did this start?
Do you ever have somebody in your life that you go, man, go talk to that person. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Go talk to that kid or go talk to that guy who understands business. He knows what he's talking about. I was always the kid growing up. Go talk to that little kid. That kid is smart. He'll put a smile on your face. I was always that kid for as long as I can remember. So people would come to me. I'd be able to listen to them and be able to make some sense of it, right? So my whole life, I've been kind of in the space of communication with people. And I've always had sales jobs. I've helped sales teams scale. I can read people really well. I can just sense things, not like some weird woo-woo.
Like an intuition.
Yeah,
type thing.
I just have been in that space for so long. I was raised really awkward. My mom was married 4 times. My stepfather was very difficult. So I figured out at a young age how to manipulate feelings and chaos and energies at a very young age. Didn't know what it meant. And here I am much later in my life helping people understand where they have holes in the boat, Like you have holes in your boat in your life and you have holes in the boat in your business. So I can help come in and discover that and help you go, oh my God, I had no idea. I got to get rid of these 3 people, or I need to hire somebody that does this, or I can help you see things you might not see because you're in it every day. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I kind of take you outside so you can see what's happening on the inside and you go, oh my God, I got to get rid of that addiction or that person or that situation. And I help you easily navigate on how to do that.
So it's like hypnotherapy is one of the things.
Could be.
How'd you learn that?
I learned that.
I got the cool version of this.
It's a crazy conversation. I'll give the Cliff Notes version. I was at a crossroads in my life. I've always been the person who was always outgoing, and my wife and I were in Las Vegas, and we said, let's go see a show tonight. And I said, well, let's go see this Hypnosis Gone Wild. We've seen all the Circus du Soleil shows. Let's go see this hypnosis show. And she goes, what is that? And I go, I don't know. But I guess they do weird things when people are sleeping and, people quack like chickens, whatever. So I'm standing in line to buy my ticket and I get a tap on my shoulder. And this guy goes, hey, you here to see my show? And I go, well, who are you? Because it didn't say Hypnosis Gone Wild starring. It was just said that was a show. And he said his name is Michael Johns. And I go, hey, Michael, it's me and my wife. We're from Nebraska. And I looked at him and I was telling you this story. I was like, you know what? I want to do what you do. I don't know why I said it. Like I would love to learn to do what you do. He goes, well, why don't you stick around after the show? We'll talk about it. So I watched the show. It was a late show. Right after the show was over, he came back and said, hey, let's go to dinner. Well, breakfast. It's like 1:00 in the morning. And he asked me a couple things about, who I was and all the things, I've done in my past. I said, well, I was a musician. I've done this. I'm used to being on stage in front of people, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, well, come see me tomorrow. We had lunch the next day. He goes, I'm going to teach you everything I know. And if you learn it and you do the things I'm going to tell you to do, I'll mentor you for free. I'm like, okay. So he told me to read this big old book. Blah, blah. Next thing you know, I did all that and called me and started quizzing me. And next thing you know, I'm on the road. I'm on the road for 10 years.
What do you mean? On the
road doing shows. Doing
just
shows
on your own?
Well, actually, the crazy thing is, boy, we're going to talk about this. This is fun because it's good. So the crazy thing is, he goes, hey, this is like 3 weeks after I met him in Las Vegas. I'm coming to Iowa because he lived in Iowa, had family there, to do 3 shows. Can you come and watch me do these 3 shows? I go, heck yeah, I will. So we did the 3rd show. The last show was Wednesday night. And my wife calls me Thursday morning as I'm getting ready to come home. And she goes, how was it? And I go, it was amazing. She goes, well, do you think you could do what he's doing? I'm like, yeah, I probably could. I could probably do a show like that. She goes, are you sure? And I go, yeah. And she goes, I go, why are you asking me this? Well, because I booked a show for you at the I booked a show for you at the Joyo Theater Sunday night, which was 4 days after.
Oh my gosh.
I've never even hypnotized anybody at this point. I just read this book. And so it was Sunday night. It was, they were doing a comedy night and I was the headliner from Las Vegas.
Yeah, it came all the way.
Vegas
I came all the way
dreams.
from
Yeah,
Vegas.
it sounds a lot more legit.
So I did a show, the Joyo Theater, 15 years ago was my first show ever. And then I said, I'm going to be doing this for a long time. And I did it for 10 years, traveled all over the world. And
So the first show went good.
it went good, yeah. It went good. I had 15 people that came up on stage and knocked out 12 of them. And I literally copied his show. Like I watched his show over and over and over. I knew every single thing he did. I copied his show.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. And it worked.
And he was obviously okay with it.
He's like, yeah. Yeah, I was his little
Which is also
apprentice.
kind of crazy.
I was
Just
his-
to
yeah.
a random stranger be like, all right.
Yeah, and so then I started doing hypnosis shows here in town at the Grand Theater when it opened up. I was doing Saturday Night Live's hypnosis shows in the Marcus Theater when it opened up downtown.
Huh.
I did that for a while, and then I started doing corporate gigs, and then I got a call to go on the road, and I spent 10 years on the road. He came off the road, and I did all of his shows all over the place. So I know
What
how
a
to
way
read.
jump
I know,
into that.
I know
That's
it's crazy.
crazy.
Literally, like from a show to 5 days later or whatever it was.
And he tapped you on the shoulder.
You got it. That's activation. That's energy, bro.
It really is.
That's what I'm telling you.
I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how it works. You what I teach people, you guys all hear about this thing of law of manifestation, the law of attraction, right? Well, I teach people how to do that. Most people do it wrong. But I teach people how to put themselves in a state so they're open for opportunity. They have abundance coming in. They have the great relationship. They have customers coming in. I could teach people that. It's crazy. It's all about tuning into a frequency, tuning into the energy, right? If I'm a happy person, which you think I'm happy?
Above average.
Do I look happy?
Above average.
So if I'm a happy person and I'm tuned into that frequency, let's call it, that energy, that vibration, what do you think is going to happen in my life? Happy stuff or depressing, chaotic, nasty, I can't believe this is going on stuff? Happy stuff.
Yeah.
If somebody is teetering back and forth from happy to sad to whatever, like the universe is giving them that type of lifestyle. So I teach businesses and I teach people how to tune in to the frequency that best serves them. I call it going from your current life or your current business to your desired life or desired business. What do I got to add? What do I got to remove? What do I got to tweak in order for me to go from here to here? And that's what I teach people. It's not woo-woo. It's like a lot of it's based on science. A lot of it's based on understanding energy, right?
Because you were talking about, is that the frequency thing? I don't know what that is.
So frequency. So have you ever heard the term, any of you heard the term that we are all frequency, energy, and vibration?
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, if that makes sense, if I can up-level my frequency and my energy, my vibration, then whatever is vibrating at that energy, frequency, vibration, so whatever's resonating with me, that's what I attract. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if you have a negative person who's down in the... Why are we pointing?
I would not.
Well, okay. It was more. It was a finger point and an eye twitch.
He pays attention, Joe.
I'm tuned in, man. I'm tuned in.
For the no one was really pointing, but I think he picked something up.
It was this. He looked like a chameleon eyeball. It was just kind of flopping out.
I think he was thinking about how all the weirdos find Chris.
Yeah.
And now he knows why.
Yeah.
You got to get your frequency level to
So basically,
higher.
you attract what you are.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Long story short.
Thank you. Whatever.
Without being rude
whatever,
to myself or Joe.
No, that's and that's sixth grade. That's sixth grade.
Yeah.
Maybe seventh. Right? Yeah. See, I'm way up here talking about it, and you got to. Yeah. I figure I got to read the room, so let me go way down.
I'm okay with it.
But that's what it is, and people when they understand that, it sounds so bizarre. Like, oh, come on, Tony, if I'm up. So what you're saying is you always appear, nothing negative happens to you? Yeah, it happens. But
it's
since
all
I'm
how you react to
but
it.
I'm vibrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a magnet, right? So you can't put the positive and negative together, or negative and negatives together, or positive and negative. Same thing with this. Same
like
thing
we
with
said,
energy.
sixth grade. Magnets.
Magnets, yeah. The magnet.
I went to Catholic school, so we were in
Okay.
Bible class.
Okay.
Instead.
Didn't talk about magnets.
Yeah.
Joe gets it.
Yeah.
They didn't use magnets in the Bible.
So, but yes, that's exactly it. And a lot of people don't realize that they have more control over what's happening on the outside if they just work on the inside. And I help people discover that. It's the weirdest thing, but when people get it, it's like, that's it. That person's gone. I'm not doing that. Scratch that. We're adding this. You start shifting the energy to where everything starts to feel good. Good things happen in good vibrations. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay. I'll debate anybody on that.
That's what the Beach Boys were singing about.
Right. Want to do that one?
We're not a
Joe's
quartet.
better. Joe's better at
Just
that.
you two, duet.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. I can see you're coming to life a little bit, Chris. This is good.
Well, he's thinking.
Yeah.
It all makes sense to me.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
don't
Okay.
get me wrong.
Okay. Okay.
But okay. So how did we transition to a touring hypnotist to doing this as almost like a business life coach all in one type thing, right?
Great.
See, I listen.
Okay, so I believe, and if you guys probably did this, if you go back and play tapes and movies from your past, okay, so connections, things you've done, decisions you've made, I started seeing a connection of why I do so many things. Like life to me is a smorgasbord. And as long as Tony, that's me.
Lucero.
Yeah, third person. As long as I'm in my frequency, I'm being the best, most authentic version of myself. So I'm an entertainer. I'm an empowerer. I'm a motivator. I'm a personal growth student and teacher. As long as I stay in that frequency, jobs and careers that are in alignment with that show up. So a hypnotist, to building a multi-billion-dollar business that my wife and I did, to traveling all over the world and being on stage in front of 20,000 people and speaking, to then going from there into becoming a musician and touring for 6 years with a rock band all over the world. Like all of these things are all part of my talents, my skills, and the frequency that I am. So it makes sense that I take all those experiences of living in a bus all those experience of building teams, all those experience of working with people, all those experience of doing sales, all the experience of being in front of a hostile group doing hypnosis when no one believes that hypnosis even exists, crossing their arms, doing that. And next thing you know, they're up on stage and they have no idea where 90 minutes of their life went. It's taken all of that brought me to how can I apply all of that fun stuff, because it's fun, sound healing and sound bowls and playing gongs. And I play probably 50 instruments. Taking all that and applying it to how to help people elevate their lives. So I take all of those tools, hypnosis, sound, music, building teams, culture, and I go, how can I bring that to humanity? How can I do that? And that's what I do. So all of those things brought me to where I'm talking to you right now, Chris, as I'm looking right in your eyeballs right now. Okay?
Okay.
So if you had something going on with you, your family, your business, whatever, and you found out about me, I could probably come in and assist you to go from your current life to this desired life that you're seeking.
Sounds spectacular.
That's what I'd be able to do. And it's all those experiences that I've had for decades. I've been in that space for almost 40 years now, working in that space of energy, frequency, and vibration without even knowing it was energy, frequency, vibration. I was just being the best version of myself. But I learned so much. I lived in the jungle in Peru for 30 days.
What the?
How many people do that?
Nobody.
I have not done that.
Do it.
It would be fun.
Did you get lost?
No, you don't have the vacation time. Listen,
Machu Picchu.
There you go.
Yeah,
Did it twice.
sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going off topic, so now I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Inca stuff.
Yeah. But things lead you to things, and the question is, when something happens, you ask yourself, do I do it or do I don't honor it? Do I go here or do I? And for me, if it puts a smile on my face, I do it. My number one trait that I have, you guys know Gallup, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Gallup, they have this thing called a strength finder. I highly encourage, if somebody's listening to this right now, or if you're in business, is go purchase their little $29, $39 Gallup strength finder. It will blow you away. My number one trait is positivity. I don't care what's going on in the world. I can, in a nanosecond, flip it. So if you got stuff going on in your personal life, well, Tony, you don't know my story, I'm doing all that crap. Okay, well, let me tell you my story. My mom was married 4.5 times. My dad used to beat the crap out of me from the time I was 5 years old to the time I was 12. I've had 2 failed marriages prior to the marriage I have right now, which is 23 years of bliss. My brother at 19 years old took his life. My dad was an alcoholic. So I got all these references that could have led me down another path. Because I'm so positive, I go, oh, they're all lessons. Those are all teachers. And I'm going to teach people how to overcome stuff someday. And that's what I do.
Got it.
The junk that you got in your trunk, I got you.
How long have you said you were being your energy giver? Or
well, I'm going to be
how long have you been doing this?
59 this year. So
and that's remarkable.
Oh.
I thought you were going to be, like 44.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Actually, my innards, because I had a study test on like my body is like 35. Like
No
all the
kidding.
stuff inside. Yeah, they have these biometric weird tests that you can take.
You're vegan or
35.
something?
I am.
Okay.
Look at you.
All right.
So, but yeah, I would say my whole life, at least 40 years of it, I've been in this space without even knowing that I'm in this space.
Yeah.
Because I would be helping people just because my whole life I've been helping people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to help businesses. I'm going to help people. And people usually find out about me through a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
So when did you decide to turn this into a business then?
It's always been a business, but not the main thing because I've been doing other things. I've been traveling the world building. I have a new online affiliate company that I run, right? So I have stuff I do that keeps me busy. And then when the opportunity presents itself, I do it.
Okay.
Here, I'm in Lincoln and have been for 23 years. Everybody knows me. I've probably hypnotized half the high school kids in this town. Now people through word of mouth find me, hey, can you come in and do a workshop?
Yeah.
Can you do stuff to help us? So I love talking about energy because I can shift people that are just kind of, down in the tubes. So I can just teach them how to dial it up, dial it up. Life is not that bad. We should be very grateful right now, right? We should just be like loving what's happening right now. And no matter what's happening on the outside, if your inside's not good, you're going to be derailed all the time. So I work on the guts, I work on the heart.
Well, I got to say, I think you and I would get along very well.
I see it.
I try to
see
be a
it.
very positive influence around here. Maybe not all the time, but there are those days where you feel just great about yourself.
Yep.
And it's hard to describe, but
Yep.
it's like the vibrations because there might be like 3 or 4 times in my life where I felt like, hey, something's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I feel something growing. And then sure enough, I get called for this big gig or I get called for something else. And it's like, wow, I don't want to say I predicted it, but like you could feel the energy.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah. You get that too?
That's good. The key for people though is people get into, I call like the sweet spot like that. Like my nickname, my stage name was Mojo. So,
Nice.
hey, Mojo, the hypnotist. But
She's got my mojo.
yeah, my mojo's working. But when my mojo is working, like it just happens. Like I don't have to force anything. I don't have to pull on anything. It's just like, man, opportunity. That feeling is just always present. And that's a beautiful place to be. That's where we have to stay though.
Yeah.
You get a call, oh my gosh, my grandfather died. Okay, so I got it. Are you going to be derailed for 6 months because of that? Or are you going to figure out how to, through your mojo, or whatever, to say, hey, it's part of life and move through it. And I have enough references on how to move through crap that nothing phases me anymore. Our family's going through some stuff right now. And, somebody's got to be the pillar. Somebody's got to be the voice of reasoning, of understanding, So, but yeah, stay in the sweet spot. That's the whole key is get there and just embrace it.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when you're in the sweet spot.
Yes.
It is hard to maintain the sweet spot.
It is. That's a choice. It doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
Well, is there another word you could use? Let's do some coaching. Is there another word that is not so abrasive like hard that you can use?
For what?
For that, you said it's hard to stay there. So
Yeah.
instead of saying it's hard to stay there, is there another way you could say it's hard to stay there? Let's dig a little deeper here.
It's difficult.
Okay. It's more of a challenge.
It's challenging.
Perfect. Okay. I like that.
And
yeah.
Chris loves challenges.
Yeah.
So-
Yes, apparently.
Yeah, get him. Let's do it.
That's why I work with Joe. But it's usually other people
Yeah.
that will take you out of that sweet spot.
Yeah.
The stuff you can't control is the hard stuff to keep yourself in the sweet spot.
Yep. There's these things called frequency anchors. And when I tell you this, you're going to go, dang it. He's right. So there's this whole thing, like, you ever been to a funeral? Okay.
I was there Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So whoever's dealing with the loss, let's say it's the wife. And every time somebody puts your hand on the wife and go, hey, sorry about your loss, right? Sorry about your loss. And then another person goes, oh my gosh, sorry, Mary, about your loss. And they're touching Mary right here. Okay. And everybody's doing that. Or maybe they're hugging her and go, hey, I'm sorry about your loss. Okay. Years go by and Mary's in a great mood. She's in the sweet spot. And all of a sudden somebody comes and goes, hey, how's it going, Mary? And gives her a hug. And it feels like something from the past. It feels like that feeling. And she drops right out of this bliss state because of this anchor. It happens all the time. And we all have these anchors all around us that can trigger it. The thought of somebody's name, Mark's name, right? Oh, every time, Mark, I wish he would just
I hate that.
saying Mark's name. And why is that? So the key is to go, okay, Mark, here's what's crazy. Mark is a master teacher for you. I'm just making up Mark as an example. We all have a Mark in our life, right? Mark is a master teacher for you. He's teaching you something. How can you navigate through that feeling you have every time you see Mark or hear Mark's name? And until you figure it out, Mark's going to show up somewhere else. And Steve and Debbie and whatever. So I see people as a lesson. And if I get because of somebody, or if I get happy because of somebody, they're there to teach me something. Either I need to do more of that or figure out how do I manipulate energy and that feeling so that I can deal with Mark. What do I got to say to Mark? What do I got to do to Mark? I need to have a conversation with Mark. Hey, Mark, come here a second. Hey, brother. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why when you show up here, it's all this and that, but here's what I want to tell you. Let's just not do it anymore. Let's figure out a way how we can have peace in the situation. Sometimes it takes you to have that conversation when you know you should have had it years ago, or you sit there and go, it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
And then it's going to show up again and again and again and again and again.
That makes me think of like, you had the bully in high school.
Yep.
And every time for the last 10 years, that jerk.
Yep.
But then at one point in your life, you're like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What am I even worried about with this? Yeah.
And the only thing that matters is what's happening right now at this moment. Yeah. We've been locked in a conversation right now. There's stuff happening right outside this window right now, but we're locked here. This is the only thing that matters is this now moment, not your past, not what's coming in the future, not all the orders and stuff like that you guys got to do and all that. It's like, what can I do right now to get to the frequency, that sweet spot? And if it's not sweet, what do I got to do? Do I got to shut the doors, put the sign up? Do I go hit some golf balls? To get me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you're there, then go do what you need to do. The problem is people start doing stuff when they're down here and then start making bad decisions. And they start compounding those bad decisions with more bad decisions. And now all of a sudden you got the whole office all making bad decisions. Because if you're the leader of the party.
I think we need to get the rest of the office in here to listen to this.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, like you said, you do like a workshop, like at a
Yes,
business, like
absolutely. Yeah. Now he's in it. We went from 7th to 8th grade now.
We're on minute 24, and here we go.
22 minutes, but go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Speak.
I'm picturing my new routine when I get to the shop. You know, have my mind reset.
Yep.
Get to a happy place, and then be like, okay, go. Now let's get some work done.
Exactly. Yeah. There are it was crazy in my journeys. I have seen so many different modalities, so many different apps for your phone, so many different ways to get to that state like that, just like that. And then if it's not like that, then you have to have other things happening around you to stimulate that. So it keeps you in that. So sound is huge. As a musician, when my dad used to yell at me and tell me I was worthless and I'd never amount to anything and you're not my son, I'll never love you, all those wonderful words, I would play my guitar. And when I was playing my guitar, I never heard my father, never heard him. So I realized, wow, sound can take you somewhere. There should be sound in this office. There should be sound everywhere you go. There should be waterfall. There should be sound of stuff like that raises your vibration. And it's stuff most people don't even notice. They'll come in here and just feel like they're in a good space. Well, why is that? Because you have music going on. You might have a waterfall happening, different color light. I don't know. That's
Joe,
what I
you're
do.
in charge of the waterfall.
Joe's got to be. I mean, look at him.
He's definitely a waterfall guy.
Yeah. But you can do stuff like that.
Yeah,
To shift energy.
Yeah, because we have that music thing, and whenever it's on, it's just it's just different.
Something different.
You know,
The music thing?
yeah,
But
it's
Alexa.
for our side, your
okay.
side.
So that was like a radio? Or, I mean, it's like this little gadget when you...
When you pull this antenna up.
Most of the time, we tell it to play music, and it plays it not in English. So we're like,
One of those little ball bubbles.
got it off
Alexa
of Timu or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
But you're getting it, though. See, this is
Yeah.
what businesses don't understand, because once you start to understand, go, God, that just makes sense. Why are some businesses thriving and scaling and all this, and the other one, the same space is not? Boils down to culture, leadership, all these other things. But
but when you do a workshop, like, how do you? I mean, what do we have?
I'm not
10
giving you my
people?
secrets. I'm not giving you my secrets.
Okay.
Like a magician never
Give
tells
us your
you his
secrets right now.
Yeah,
You talk to everybody as like a whole.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, and we play games.
Okay.
We all participate. Like I remove some of the shrapnel from years of stuff without them even realizing what's coming out of them. Right?
Yeah.
And communication is key. So we have to make sure that we create a happy place, a safe place, and then everybody can speak freely. And when
Like Festivus.
when we set that intention, then we get to play.
Okay.
And then ideas come out and you'll go, oh my God, it's a great idea, Harry. That's great. Oh, so yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to see. And it's cool when people get it. And a lot of times what I'm talking about has nothing to do with work. It's stuff that's happening inside. And so they can take these things and go home and apply them.
Okay. Where do people find you if they want to explore this more?
They have to go into the quantum field, which is
I'm there, man.
yeah. No. So
That would have been really funny if you would have just cut it right there.
yeah. That's actually a good sales technique. Hey, where's it? No, so TonyLucero.com is my website. It's down right now because I'm doing a complete frequency rebranding of it. But TonyLucero.com. I'm on social media, Tony Lucero everywhere on all the social media platforms. But
I did find your Instagram, and I have one question because I watched a couple videos. There was one you were kind of going through a room in your house, showing off some different items.
yeah.
And,
Jeez.
and you have a stuffed condor.
Yeah.
A taxidermy condor.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that a bird?
yes, it was a big bird. And you just said, and there's the condor, just very confidently and very strong. And then you moved right on. And I'm like, no, go back. What's the importance of the condor?
We have to do another podcast because that's why I'm here. is because of that condor.
Really?
So that's actually made out of metal. It's not taxidermy.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
Yeah, I actually made that. But just in one of my journeys when I went to Peru in the jungle, I discovered that my spirit animal was the most majestic of all animals, which is a condor.
Huh.
And a condor, what's so significant about it, in fact, I wrote a book called How to Give Birth to a Condor. When I turned 50, I have a book.
What?
I know. I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
He hasn't really talked about his musical career either.
Yeah,
I know.
and that's even. So I wrote a
Well, I
book.
want to know more about the jungle. Okay, hold on. Let's move book.
Okay.
Go.
So I wrote a book called How to Give Birth to a Condor. And the significance of that is when I was doing some personal inner work in the jungle in the Amazon, it came to me and through the person I was working with that was my spirit animal. I'm like, what the heck is that? And he told me what it was. So a condor, the Incas believe
Nice.
that this is the most majestic of all creatures because it flies higher than any other animal on the planet. So 12,000, 15,000 feet is where this condor is comfortable. It never flaps its wings because it just waits for the wind to be right. So here comes all the symbolisms. When the wind is right, it just leaps up and flies, right? Flies, just glides. But they believe that the wingspan was so big, they have 10-foot wingspans. Okay, so it's only the second smallest next to the albatross.
smokes.
But they weigh 40 pounds, these birds. I've seen them. Like I've touched them. They're massive. But the Incas believe that the wings are so big because they help the Incas help go to the light.
Mm.
So a lot of spiritual stuff there. So I help people see their light, stay in the light, and play in the light is what I help people do. And so this whole thing is my condor is kind of crazy. Here's what's really crazier. My brother at 19 years old took his life. The high school he went to was the North County Condors in California. So all this stuff is adding up. You're going, I can't make it up.
Wow.
So you go, okay, maybe I am spirit guide of some of the condor that helps people elevate and go up into the light. Because that's why I feel like I'm really light. Like I'm really light. Like I'm minimalist. I live underground in Ashland. Like I got an RV. I can be mobile if I need to. I love the mountains. I mean, I might be.
Did you say you live underground?
Yeah, I live in a berm home.
Oh,
you know what those are?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
That was 6th grade. So
Yeah. So yeah,
My wife
all
would be very
underground.
jealous.
I have a driving range on top of my house. I hit golf.
you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a driving range on his roof. How
Yeah.
many people can say that?
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting you saw that because that's a very significant part of me and my vibrations. I'm always asking myself, am I being true Tony right now? Am I being this condor? Right? That's my filter. And if
Yeah,
I'm
of
not.
all the videos he posted, Have, you picked that one, and you
picked-
brought
yeah.
up you brought up the condor. That's
Yeah, not my
interesting.
Howard Stern one. Huh? Okay, we got to talk later. We have so much to talk about.
Henry, you want to ask him about his music?
Yeah, I do.
Jeez.
Go ahead.
This is weird. This story. Yeah.
Well, how do you go from being an entertainer
Mm-hmm.
of magic or hypnotism, whatever you want to call it, whatever your
Rotations.
I don't know what
we saw air quotes just so you know for the
How do you
audience.
go
air
from
quotes
that
right there.
to Frosted Tips, rock band,
Yeah.
music videos,
Yeah.
etc.?
Again, every 7 to 8 years, like I start shifting out of the old and into something new. I don't ever know what the new is, but it seems to be like the next step for me along my desired life, right? So music has been in my life since I was 5 years old. I wanted to be in a rock band when I was a kid in high school. I played a couple songs with the band. Thought that was it. Long story short, a band that was part of our nutrition company said, hey, you want to come do a cameo when we go perform for this company? And I go, yeah. So I did one song and then they performed again a couple months later. Hey, you want to learn a couple songs? I said, okay. So I learned a couple songs, did another cameo. And then we had one big event that we were going to do in front of 15,000 people. And for whatever reason, their guitarist said, I can't make it. I don't want to go. And they called me 2 weeks before the show and said, hey, Tony, can you learn all of our songs before 2 weeks? I go, heck yeah, I got this one. So I learned it all, performed that night, and they asked me to be in the band. So I'm in this band now called Farewell to Fear, which is a positive band, Farewell to Fear, right?
it.
So it's very
The
positive.
opposite of sad.
Yep. It's in alignment. It's in alignment with me as a person, right? Farewell to fear, because I don't have any fear, I have love. And we go into the studio like 3 weeks after I get asked to be in this band to record another album. They had like 2 albums before me. We record this album, and we need one song to put on it. And we all do originals. they said, hey, why don't we do a cover? So we're all looking at covers to do, and our drummer goes, hey, how about this song right here? And they go, it's Diamonds by this Rihanna girl, right? And we're like, well, what's that? He goes, I don't know. It's got 75 million views, though. So we did a rock version of Rihanna's Diamonds as not a joke, but just as a filler to put it on this album. So we put it on the album. The album comes out a month and a half later. All of a sudden, I'm living in San Diego. Our band's from Florida and New Orleans, okay? I get a call like at 5 o'clock in the morning. Dude, go check out our Twitter. And I go, why, what's going on? And I look at our Twitter feed, and there's hundreds of, you guys are the next Beatles, and blah, 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 blah. I go, what is going on right now? And all of a sudden, Howard Stern just played your entire song, the whole song on the radio.
Oh, wow.
So we go to Howard Stern. We're like, all of a sudden, their office calls us. The next day, we do an interview with their office, and it's on YouTube. So that remake of Rihanna's Diamonds, the rock version that we did, Howard played the whole thing. He said, "Oh, these are my kids. They're amazing." And he's never played a whole song. So after that, 2 weeks later, the guy that discovered Creed, Mr. Hansen, found us and said, "Guess what? You guys are going on the road." So been on the road for 6 years. I mean, it happened that fast because of that one song.
Huh.
Yeah, it's still on there. The interview's on there that Howard did, and then the song's on there. Crazy. So how many people can say that? You're talking to a guy that has an entire song that Howard loved. He talked about it for 5 minutes. You got a chance to hear it. It's crazy. So all part of the frequency, though. And I show up and I go, God, how's this even happening? I go to game sevens and like in the Miami Heat Arena, these epic games, and I'm just happen to be there, and the guy hits the winning shot, the buzzer. Like, I'm always at these places. Why is that? Because of say it together.
And frequency.
I was trying to digest the Miami Heat Game 7 statement.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, yeah, crazy.
I'm just trying to figure out how to keep him here.
Yeah.
You just want to office out of here?
I would love to.
There you go.
It's just one of those things. This is what I want to show people. We all have this ability. We all have this power, whatever it is, right? We all do. The question is, are you listening to the outside world? Are you inundated with all what I call the D word, the distraction of it all? Or are you willing to do the work? It's actually fun. Figuring out who you are, like your true calling, your purpose, why you're here. When you find that out, you guys, you'll never work a day. I don't work. Like I feel like I don't work. It's playtime for me all the time because I'm doing what I love to do. But we have to find out what that is.
And it's also nice. It doesn't matter how old you are.
No. No.
I said you're 35 in a 59-year-old body or whatever it is, opposite. But
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. And I appreciate every single day. I wake up in a state of gratitude every morning, and I go to bed every night in a state of gratitude. And I'm just grateful to have opportunities like this to share light for people. Man, and if I just stay that, if I work really hard to make sure that I don't let all the stupid stuff that happens in the world affect me, I'm money, right? And I have to teach people that. And it's easier than what most people think. Like you don't have to go to Peru. You don't have to go to, go spend time with a shaman in the jungle to do it. You guys can do it right now.
But that sounds fun. So I want to know, let's
it is fun.
Tell me that story.
One-way ticket. I come out of meditation one day. Well, oh God, can I even talk about like plant medicine and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know. So this is crazy. I don't drink. I don't smoke. As you know, I'm vegan. So I have a pretty cool, simple, life with regards to outside stuff. And I wake up one morning, I go do meditation. It's like I spend quiet time with myself before I do anything. And all of a sudden when I get on meditation, it says, you're going to Peru and you're going to go do ayahuasca. You're going to go do ayahuasca. And I'm like, where's Peru and what the heck is ayahuasca? Have you ever heard that term before?
Is that the Aaron Rodgers thing?
Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
watched the video.
Okay. I had no idea what it was. So I'm Googling. I'm like, okay, what is ayahuasca? I'm spelling it like with weird letters and I'm not spelling it right. And all of a sudden I see it and I see a bunch of people just throwing up in a video, on a YouTube video, just heaving and in pain. I'm going,
No.
I ain't doing that. And I got quiet for a second and it was just like, no, you're going to Peru and you're going to do this. I had no reason to do it. Don't know why at the time. I know why now, but so I go, honey, I gotta go do this thing in Peru, and I don't even know where Peru's at. Like, it's not my place to go for vacation. I don't even know where it's at. And my wife has been very loving, supportive of this journey that I've been on, and because she knows what I do. And she goes, okay, let's plan it. So I go online. I'm typing ayahuasca retreats, Peru, whatever. And this one popped up called Dream Glade. And I called them, or excuse me, sent an email. And I said, hey, I would like to come your place. And they go, okay, we have to fill out this form. So I had to fill out this form to say like why I was going, what was my intention for going, because you have to be very intentional when you're playing with, the big people. So they said, okay, well, this is in December. We don't have any openings until August. And I said, okay, do you have like a waiting list? Oh yeah, we'll put you on that. So put me on the waiting list. 1 week later, I get a call. Can you be here next week? I'm like, universe works fast. Okay, sure. So I was on a plane in a week and spent a week in the jungle in the Amazon and did what they call ceremony and was shown the power of nature that we have at our disposal that we can't talk about because people think it's woo-woo or whatever. And we have other things that are regulating these amazing things that we have available to us that we can't talk about. And I discovered the truth of a lot of things about myself, about people, about humanity, about energy, frequency, and became a student of it. Like I became a student of, okay, I got to figure out how to explain this experience to people in a way that it doesn't sound like crazy.
Well, more so that it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, was it difficult, or was it like when you're in it, it's different?
It's you can't even explain it.
Okay.
So the best way to explain it, have you seen the movie Doctor Strange?
I have.
The Marvel movie? No, not. It's like out of anything that you can watch that is high conscious as far as a movie is concerned, watch that.
Like the third eye thing where she pushes
all
in.
of that, of that. The journey with all the psychedelics and all that stuff. Like you can't even describe not being present. Like I'm looking at you right now, but in being in another place, like a whole new experience. I can't even describe. I tried to articulate in my book, but you can't. You can't explain with
Up for a field trip.
Yeah. But ayahuasca is like the highest that you don't go from like never drinking, never doing drugs, never, eating bad to go straight do that. There was a reason why, because I now coach people that have that question. Hey, Tony, I'm thinking about doing ayahuasca. And like, I now have that experience, not coming from a place of I was broken and I need to be fixed. I was already good. I'm living in a $2 million house in San Diego. Like my life is cush, but I had to go through that experience so I can now tell people that's not your first step, bro. You don't need to do that. There's other things you can do that are a lot less.
Yeah.
Because what happens is people go do that and they have never had experience with like even meditating, like getting quiet. You go do something like that. You come back to this regular 3D world, you're gone. Like you can't relate to anybody anymore if you don't have the foundation, right? I had the foundation. I had I can separate the two. I can separate the energies of what that is and how to take what I learned here and apply it in my everyday life. Some people can't do that. Some people just want to go play there all the time, right? And they're lost. Follow me?
I feel like I'd probably be lost.
Yeah.
Really
You would go
fast.
there and go, hey, that feeling and those things and what I experienced, like I want to do that again. And next thing you know, you're playing with all these.
You'll never be able to grab it again.
Yeah. It's because that's not how that energy works. It's there to teach you something, show you something so that you can then take you and all the things you know that are true and apply that to regular life. But if you're broken inside here, and unfortunately I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, divorces and bankruptcies and all that stuff, car accidents, like, I'm resilient. I could easily handle that. Crazy. I don't know how we got. We went from hypnosis to music to doing ayahuasca with shaman in the jungle.
So, is there anything else
that
that we should know about you?
Out of all the people that you'll probably meet, I tell people this. Out of all the people that you meet, I'm one of the people that practices what I preach, and I have the experience in a wide variety of different things, modalities, to come from a place of strength. I'm not a one-dimensional person. So that's what you can know about me. Hey, I got this guy. He's like an enigma, but man, he can dial your stuff in right now. He can fix your business right now. He can fix your relationship right now with yourself. He can He can help your kids right now. I do a lot of work with kids. There's a lot of broken kids right now.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the movie? You guys watch Netflix?
Yes.
You want to see something to freak you out? I think every parent. I'm glad I'm actually sharing this because I think every parent should see this. It's called. Starts with the A. Oh man. Adolescent. On Netflix. Is Adolescence like a teenager?
Yeah. When did it come out?
It's out right now. It just came out.
Like
A
brand
series or
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5, but it is.
It is called Adolescence.
Yeah, Adolescence. My wife and I just finished it last night.
Just released literally yesterday.
Really?
Did you already watch it before that?
Yeah, I just
Or sorry, excuse me, the 13th. So 4 days ago.
the reason why I'm talking about this right now, you guys, I think it's important. That adolescence shows some dysfunction that kids are going through right now, and us as parents don't have a freaking clue. And when you watch this, it is powerful because it is the only thing I've ever watched that every episode is one freaking camera shot. There are no
One take.
It's not like every 9 seconds, like regular movies. Every 9 seconds, there's a switch. It's one camera take. I have goosebumps right now because I felt myself from the first scene in this without even knowing what it was about. Now that you know what it's about, and it's so important, I think, for parents to watch this. There are so many signs that kids give or not give to us that we have to like have a conversation. We have to step in and, offer guidance, like how we were all raised as kids, right? So
put it on tonight.
It's crazy. And you're going to watch it and go, my God, this is one scene. Every episode is one freaking scene. And it's like you're right there in the scene with them. It's brilliant from that aspect. So if you like movies,
yeah, that's right up my alley.
The subject matter is difficult because it has to do with kids and what happens. But if you've got kids, I was just talking to the guy I was playing golf with today. Like you guys got to watch this because kids are in a whole different frequency than we were. We'd go outside and play. We'd have to be home at a certain time. They've got freedom. They've got
When
closed
the street
doors.
lights came on.
Yeah, they got that. They got computers. They shut their doors. They go in their room. They're up till 2:00 in the morning. Like, what are they doing? Well, watch this movie. It's freaking nuts. Very well done.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm a good guy. Hit me up if you got issues in your tissues. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. I can help people. I think we all have our calling, and my calling is to show people what's possible. That's one thing I will always show people what's possible with their lives. That's why I've done so much. Like, what are you going to do now? Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do next, right? Right now, at this moment, this conversation, letting people know that there is an opportunity for you to see something and feel something you're probably not even aware of. And it can happen like that fast. And once you feel it, you go, ooh, I don't ever want to go back to that. How do I stay in it? And that's how I can help you.
Got it.
Okay? Abundance.
All right. Well, we do like to wrap up our podcast with asking you, what are fun things you like to do around town here in the city of Lincoln?
I love golfing. And when I'm done doing that, I like to golf. And then if it's available, I'll golf.
What are your favorite golf courses here?
The one right by the airport, Highlands. I like Highlands. It's always in really good condition. You can get around pretty fast. Yeah. So anywhere. I'll go anywhere. I'll hit off a pasture. I don't care. I love nature. Nature's a frequency. So I usually play with my shoes off, which is weird for people. So I'm just like connected to, I don't swing hard. No one gets hurt. My ball goes down the middle. Everybody's happy. They're all running around in their golf carts all over the place. I'm walking. I have an automatic robot golf cart that follows me everywhere I go. So it just,
fun.
Smooth sailing, man.
Very cool.
So yes, that's what I love to do. And I love meeting new people. So I love meeting you guys. You guys have been great. Seriously.
Yeah, this was great.
And I would love to do a workshop for you. I'd love to come in and, spread some mojo, and show you what's possible.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we have a pretty good atmosphere, but I mean,
you
can
do
always be better.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's
I already feel
good
better
for any
just
business.
talking to you during the podcast.
Yeah.
You can go spread that.
I'm going to go spread some mojo in the other room.
Spread some mojo. There we go.
It's the mojo. Your mojo working. I appreciate you guys, man. Seriously.
No, thank you very much.
You got it.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace.